This is the biggest mistake any buyer can do it. So they buy it, let's say, in 800, but it value like 400. Never, never, never. Even you are going to lose this property, lose it. Never remove an inspection condition.
Hey, Sherif, thank you for coming on the podcast. Could you please introduce yourself? Let us know what you do, who you are, and how you got into what you're doing now.
Thanks a lot for hosting me here. At the beginning, my name is, as you mentioned, Sherif.
Mhm.
I came from Egypt. I have been here since 2011.
Mhm.
My background, it's a legal field. I'm a lawyer from Egypt, and I started working also as a real estate broker in Egypt for a few years. I used to work in luxury more. And after I came here, I start thinking like I need to improve my career. Why not? I'm start improving myself and continue in same career like this. So I start looking for how to be real estate broker here. So I start in 2020 during COVID. I was looking where I could study, which language I can do, what's the requirement. So I applied at the beginning of 2021. I start at fall 2021. I got my license 2022 as a residential real estate broker.
Mhm.
I start practically with my agency at the end, yeah, let's say first week of December 2022. And at January 2023, I started my studying as commercial,
Yeah.
and I got licenses in September 2023, commercial also. So now I am a residential and commercial real estate broker.
Okay, so could you explain to us the difference between, because there's two licenses then,
Yeah.
residential and commercial.
Yes.
What's the difference into residential and commercial?
Okay. Residential only allow any broker who has it work with home, like residential people.
Like
You buy,
homeowners.
yeah, homeowner. You buy home to live in it.
Okay, so basically you buy a single family house
Yeah.
or a duplex, triplex under 4 units, basically.
Yes. 5 and less than 5.
Okay, so 4 and lower, it's
Yeah.
residential.
So we can sell home, single home family, single family home.
Yeah.
Sorry, condo, and less than 5. So duplex, triplex, fourplex.
Okay. And then now you say you're commercial. So commercial, so it's 5 units and up. And
Commercial, everything. So 5 and more.
yeah.
Plus industrial, whatever, terrain,
So like
building,
business owners, let's say they want to
everything,
rent a
franchises,
Okay.
renting,
restaurant,
offices,
Mhm.
selling like multi-residential family. Like I have a client now, they looking for 30 plus units, something like this.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so could you explain to us the process? Let's say we have a business owner who are looking for a space. And then would you be able to explain to us the process from starting to look for a space until the delivery while they're ready to move into their space?
Okay, so first of all, any owner need to decide what he or she is looking for. So after that, they they start to connect with a broker.
Mm-hmm.
So as a broker, what I do, I start qualifying this client to see if this client has a right requirement that's fit with the market or no, and also what's the capacity. Because some people they come, okay, I want to buy a home. I had client like this before, 4 bedrooms, minimum 4 bedrooms, and minimum 2 bathrooms, and for renovated, and 2 3 parking car, and how much? Maximum 500. So it's not it's
Realistic.
not realistic. Yeah. So I start asking people, what's your budget and how you decide this budget. Do you have pre-qualification from a bank? So we know your budget, your real budget, how much. So this first step should any client ask for it. Go to bank, go to mortgage broker, ask to get your certificate for
Okay,
that.
so let's say let's move the example to someone with a house. Let's say I'm a client that's looking to buy a house in Montreal, let's say, or wherever you work. Let's say I'm looking to buy a house. What's the process from buying the house to like finding the house, buying the house, and then renovation if there are any? Like, what's the process from start to finish? Because you mentioned you find the house, or but before that, is there like some? You said mortgage broker. Does the mortgage broker come before you or after you?
Okay, so it's both. It's okay. So let's start. First of all, the buyer will contact me. So I make qualification. After that, if he has, let's say I will use he, okay? So if he has a certificate pre-qualified, okay, let's go work. If not, I will start looking for what he needs. At the same time, I will refer to a mortgage broker to get this certificate. During this time, he gets the certificate, and I find what he wants, what fit for his requirement. If doesn't fit, I will negotiate with him, like remove this requirement, try to improve this requirement, like this.
So when you say the certificate from the mortgage broker, you mean that the mortgage broker will build a file and make sure the person is able to afford, basically.
Yeah.
It would.
What's the capacity? What's
Okay.
the maximum?
So let's say if a house is $500,000, the mortgage broker will make sure the person has the capacity to afford.
How much down payment should be, how much a bank will give, and it's not this one not final approved. Okay, this pre-approved. So will be like how much around, how much percentage for interest, and for how many months. Let's say 25 years, so 300 months, something like this. So it gives like general idea, like 50 or 70% from the realistic. So now we are going to look for something, we have a proof. And even when we make an offer and we submit pre-approved, will make my client in good situation, because this is very serious client for in front of a seller.
Yes. Okay.
So after that, I look for what he needs. So I start send by email to check it by himself. If he like it, we book a visit. We go for visit. We check everything together. Like it, okay. I start to make a promise to purchase. I put all condition to protect my client, to get the best price for my client. So after that, if we get accepted, so we start the process for an inspection. So we have to make to inspect this home. So in case if my client has no inspector, I should offer for him minimum 3 inspectors, and he's going to select what's the best from them.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I summarize, just to get back, we have the mortgage broker that helps determine the capacity that someone is able to borrow from a bank and down payment and all that. So basically, it's all the financial information is determined with the mortgage broker.
Yes.
Then once that's done, you go to work and you find different properties that fit your client's requirements that you've figured out at the beginning of the process. Yes. And once you've done that, you go and visit the space, and if one space matches for your client, you just put a purchase offer on the property.
Yes.
And then what happens from there?
Okay. So now we got accepted. Okay. So we are going to make an inspection next days after acceptance day, following days. And during same time with an inspector, we are going to make financial process with the mortgage broker or with the bank direct, whatever clients likes. So after that, we fulfillment all requirement. So we are going for notarized. But sometimes this home need renovation. Sometimes when we go for visits, we need to hire contractor to like sometimes some clients. I have a client. She wants to change the garage to be atelier. So something like this. So we hire contractor, we hire people for renovation, so to make like estimation how much doesn't work or no. So this one also. Sometimes we do that after acceptance. So we make promise to purchase conditional.
Okay.
So if this condition okay for us, we are going to continue. So we can hire contractor, company for renovation. We hire also an inspector. Financial bank is already hired before mortgage broker. So after that, my client will hire notary to notarize because always buyers they hire a notary.
Mm-hmm.
So we go for notarized.
So the buyer hires the notary.
Yeah, usually.
Okay. And
usually.
then once you go to the notary, what's happening then?
So notarized.
Yeah.
So everything done. So client will get a key. So we try to fix if something need to fix, change keys, renovation. So we go to we hire moving company to move stuff.
The furniture and all.
Yeah,
the
everything. We
personal
hire
stuff.
people for garden.
Okay.
Sometimes garden need fix some protection.
Like landscaping.
Yes,
Landscaper.
something like this. Yeah.
Okay. So this is from the perspective of a buyer. Now let's move to this perspective of a seller.
Yeah.
Like let's say I have a house for sale and I need someone to sell it. I need someone to help me sell it. And then I reach out to you. What's the process from there?
Okay. I was talking about that yesterday with someone with a potential client in next few weeks. So first of all, I start talking. I get some information about this property, and I get an appointment with them.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I get an appointment after 3 days because I need these 3 days to make listing presentation. Listing presentation has all process I do for my client, plus active properties and sold properties. It's comparable.
Okay.
So I make comparable, active and sold. So go
comparable, active. Active is what's currently on the market.
Yes.
And sold is recently sold.
What recently sold, usually I use 3 months.
Okay.
And sometimes if not available, because sometimes
the market
maybe
is slow for
some area, it's like it's not like I go right downtown.
Mm-hmm.
If downtown Montreal, it's every day you sell like 10 property, but
Mm-hmm.
not like other places. Sometimes it's one by week, one by month. Okay. So I go 3 months or 6 months, whatever. So I go this appointment, sitting, explain everything, and show them the right price. But also, during this appointment, I check a home. I check everything. Maybe I have in listing presentation, I decide this one will be like 500,000. But I found there is a crack here, problem in foundation, something like this. So we'll make it less because overprice will be, it's horrible to sell it.
Okay.
It's not easy to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
And the drop price doesn't work because I'm going to work to make the best interest for my client.
Mm-hmm.
So during that, I also recommend for my client to make some steps, few steps, will make the value from this property higher than what we see. So I ask for hiring people for make more cleaning. Sometimes the paint, hire people to paint. Hire renovation company. Sometimes if you make renovation for this property, it costs like 10,000, 10K, but will make your value extra 50K.
Mm-hmm. So
Sometimes.
It's worthwhile,
yeah,
to just do the renovation.
Yeah, so hire people like this, hire a renovation company. Let's turn if like finish basement, it's extra 50,000. So some people, okay, I need the finished basement because I have kids, so I will give them. So it's more, you get more client. More client, it means more competitive, more money for you in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask for hiring people for sometimes construction if something wrong, if something doesn't fit with the bylaw of municipality. So just fix it, because when you fix everything, when as a buyer broker, when I see any property has everything done, it's more easy
Yeah, because
to
there's
apply.
less friction and there's less negotiation because it looks good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's after that we start to make a declaration of seller and mention everything. If renovation, any problem, anything, to be clear, to protect my client. So if something there is something wrong or something doesn't clear, I ask my client, okay, hire an inspector, hire construction company to get what's the problem, to mention, because everything is clear. So after that, I sign my brokerage contract. 3 days after, I start list. I start receive visit, booking visit. We make a visit. If I receive any promise to purchase, I apply direct for my client, and I give my opinion. Like if I have multiple offer, I give also my opinion, but not this not obligation. It's just my experience I give. But the last decision is for my client.
Mm-hmm.
After that, if accepted, I start the process with other broker. If the
So
buyer
like a
broker,
buyer's broker,
yeah,
because
selling broker, we saying,
you
yeah,
typically in the typical transaction, would you have two brokers, right?
yeah, selling listing broker and the selling brokers. Listing, it's a seller broker. Selling,
Buying,
selling, listing broker is the seller broker,
yeah.
and the selling broker, it's a buyer's broker.
Okay.
So both of them, this is in a transaction, but sometimes buyer
Sell by
comes
themselves.
alone.
Yeah.
So I represent him, but I'm working for my seller,
Mm-hmm.
sure, for my seller interest.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to treat all of them equally. So after that, I start process to see an inspector, and I have to attend during an inspection day. I follow for financial process. If there is contractor, if there is renovation company will make estimation, appraisal company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like today, my client, she called me. She's asking about her home value. So I give it her value. She said, yeah, but this is very low. I said, yeah, because you have this issue. So if you want, you can hire appraisal company. They will give you exactly how much by dollar and cents to be in safe side. If you don't believe, she said, okay, I'm thinking like this, but she said, okay, I trust you, but okay, so you can hire also appraisal if you
Okay.
want something.
So if we go back to what we were saying, if I'm a seller, you were saying you come and see me, visit the house, prepare a listing presentation. So you come in with your comparables to determine the price of the property, and then if you determine if there's any work to be done. If you think there's any work to be done, we either call an appraiser or a general contractor to figure out, okay, what's the work to be done in this property and how much might it cost. And then once we've done that work, what's happening then? Because you have offers coming in from other brokers that are looking at your listing. Let's say you accept a purchase offers, then what goes? It's the same process. Now you go to the notary, and then you sign, and then you do the lease, the document transfer, pretty much, the title transfer at
Yeah,
the notary. So
yeah,
that's the process as a seller,
yes,
if I understand correctly.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and then there's this question that often comes, I think, for brokers. How do you guys get paid? Like, and how do you how do you guys get paid?
Okay, this is very confusion question, because people, they don't understand the housing process.
Mhm.
Okay, so usually it's a seller who pays both. So let's say
What do you mean by both?
okay, so now each transaction has a seller broker and buyer's broker.
Yes.
Okay, seller pays both. So let's say I'm going now for seller. I will be a listing broker. So I will ask for 4% or 5%. 4%, let's say. So 4%, it's not only for me. It's 2 for me and 2 for buyer's broker. So what will happen now? We close a transaction. Notary will give us a money. 2 here and 2 here. So let's say I am alone. I'm a listing broker and the buyer doesn't there has no broker, so I'm going to represent him. I will get a 4%.
Mm-hmm.
So because some clients they think like if I go alone direct, so I will save 2% is this from my broker as a buyer. No, it doesn't work like this, because by law doesn't allow to do that, because if you do that, it means you deprive other brokers from their work, from their protection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I understand.
so seller will pay 4% if for one person, for two person, for 1,000 person, doesn't matter. 4, it means
Okay.
it doesn't mean 4. I'm use like example.
Yes.
Some people they take more, some people they take less, but usually it's 4%.
So 4%, that would mean if the property is worth $1 million, then it would be $40,000 commission.
Yeah,
I mean, if the property has been sold for $1 million, then the seller would pay $40,000
but
to
4% only when a transaction closed.
Yeah, when it closes.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work, because
Exactly.
if I'm a listing broker, yeah, I was talking that last week with a client. So I said I am going to hire photographer to make photo, to make sometimes we use 3D vertical photo, vertical video. So it costs a lot of money. I'm not going to get my phone and they give some photo or whatever, any camera. No, I will hire a crew. So we get this property for, let's say, like 4 or 5 hours minimum, sometimes one day, to get photos, professional photo. So I will pay this from my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sometimes I do like it's not sometimes, usually, but sometimes it depends on how much you make budget for marketing. So let's say I do that, and after expire listing didn't get any offer and expired. I'm not going to charge you. Law doesn't allow me to charge you.
So if I understand correctly, you only get paid once a property sells.
Once, transaction closed.
Okay. And okay, so basically you get your commission once the transaction closes, and if there's two brokers involved in the transaction, you split the commission in half.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Okay, that makes sense.
It's not in half. Sometimes some listing broker ask for 5%, 3 and 2. Sometimes ask for 4%, like, but 3 and 1. This is negotiation.
Yeah.
There is no rules for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just figure it out between each other, basically.
Yeah, this one, it's a negotiation between listing broker and the seller.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what kind of mistakes do you see people often make when they're listing a property or even trying to buy a property? Let's say someone is listing his property, he's the seller. What kind of mistakes do you typically see as a broker?
First of all, if they try for sale by owner, they try to go without hire broker. They try to to keep more money for themselves, but doesn't work like this, because not every time you can do everything by yourself. So most of them, they offer their property overprice. So overprice doesn't work. Like, I know someone, he offer his property. Now, since I start, I look about this property till now, still in the market.
How long has it been?
It's like more than 3 years now,
Oh,
like
wow.
3.5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, this one by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I have someone he's listing with he's listing his property, but didn't work also. But still, because you don't know the market, you are
Mm-hmm.
not expertise. Even you do here, some people they use ChatGPT. Doesn't work ChatGPT. ChatGPT, okay, you can get information, but information about what? About something easy, something simple, not selling property, because each thing costs $1. And also, when you make overprice, it means your opportunity to get buyers, it's very less than other. Number
Yeah.
one. Number two, you don't know how to do exposure, like how to market your property. Like whatever you have experience, you still very limit, because this
Mm-hmm.
is not your field. This is our field. 24/7 I work on it. Okay. Third, you don't know your how to protect yourself, because there is process. Even in declaration of seller, if something wrong happen, buyer can suit you direct. But
Mm-hmm.
when there is broker will tell you step by step how
Mm-hmm.
to refill it. Okay. And also there is broker, so there is insurance. If
Yes.
something wrong happen, they sue the broker, so our insurance will pay.
Mm-hmm.
So seller list with broker, pay 2% or 4% or whatever, it's you will get it back. You
Mm-hmm.
will get it back in service, in protection, and sometimes also.
In higher price sometimes as well.
Sometimes, yeah, because I know market, so I can tell you, okay, don't list now. Stay list next month or in a few months. So I know what. Okay, don't list in this price. Maybe less price less, but I can make it multiple offer. So I will improve
Mm-hmm.
the price. I will make it like
Bidding
paid.
war.
Yeah.
I understand.
So this is our work.
Mm-hmm.
We are alive from this work. So it's no one can compete with us. This is our field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are going to sell only one home, your home. But I sell how many home I sell? How many home I buy?
Mm-hmm.
So I know how to go.
Okay, so we have the mistake of people trying to list their own property. So that's one mistake. Do you see any other mistakes that you've seen clients make?
For listing,
Either listing or even a buyer. Like let's
buyer,
say it's a
yeah,
buyer.
yeah.
What kind of mistakes do buyer typically make?
Okay, some buyers they love this property, so they remove an inspection. This is the biggest mistake any buyer can do it, because some people did it during COVID. So after, like in 2023 and 24, they found a lot of problem
The
in their
foundations
property,
or in the
everything, foundation cracks. So they buy it, let's say in 800, but it value like 400. So first, never, even you are going to lose this property, lose it. Lose
Understand.
it. Don't, because you pay money. You will lose your money. Never remove an inspection condition.
So that's one mistake you see buyers make.
Yeah, this is important mistake.
So let's say, if I summarize, first mistake is from sellers trying to list by themselves because they don't get the exposure, they don't get the insurance that a broker can bring. And then second mistake that I see that you told us is from buyers, that they fall in love with the property and they're willing to forego the inspections and miss errors and lose a lot of money because
Removing
there's
an
lots of
inspection.
work to do it in the property.
Yeah.
So that they're the two main mistakes.
No, another mistake from buyer also is very big. They try to buy without pre-approval.
Okay.
They should pre-approved from a bank first to know your budget.
So what's the process of pre-approving a property?
They go
I mean,
for
pre-approving your budget. Like, what's the pre-approval?
yeah, they go for a bank or lending an institution, whatever,
Yes.
or apply or connect with a mortgage broker, and that's I recommend going for mortgage broker because
Because why do you recommend a mortgage broker
okay,
rather than just going to a bank?
yeah, when you go bank or lending an institution, they will give you their condition only. So they will tell you, okay, you are going to buy 500 property for 500, so you are going to pay 5% minimum as a down payment, 25,000. So your capacity 475 with, let's say, 4.5% interest for 25 years. Okay, that's our condition. But there is another institution also. You can't go for each bank and each institution. Sorry. And each time you go there, your credit score start go less, down, 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 down. So after 4 or 5 trying with them, you will lose. So each time it will be less.
Yes, I
But
understand.
mortgage broker doesn't get any money from you. You do it. He's going to do for free for you. He gets his commission from an institution and doesn't affect you.
Okay.
If you go direct with an institution, if you go direct with a mortgage broker, same. But
what does it do? What does a mortgage broker
broker has access with all an institution, banks, private companies. So mortgage broker will give you the best interest, the best mortgage, everything, because he wants to make relationship with you, to build this relation, to keep you, to refer for him now another clients. So he tries to give you the best interest and the highest mortgage.
I understand.
Without losing your credit score.
Okay.
Because when mortgage broker apply, he knows this bank will accept this case. This bank doesn't.
Okay, so if I summarize the 3 mistakes is as a seller trying to sell by yourself.
Yes.
Second one is as a buyer falling in love with the property and foregoing inspections. And then third mistake is people going without being pre-approved and maybe looking for properties they can't afford.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 main mistakes, and we've gone over. Do you have any other mistakes that you often see or no?
For renting people, for tenant.
Okay.
Tenant, always, they look for a place to move.
Yes, sir.
Okay, a problem, if there is no time, like 2-3 weeks or 10 days, they don't care about if any is their problem. So they try to move, whatever. Okay, I'm going to rent this property. Okay, but there is a problem. You have to be careful. No, they don't care. After they move and they start, okay, now I'm safe. Okay, they start figure out, okay, why I accept this one? Why I accept? So this is a big problem.
Okay.
I always tell my client, okay, listen, you love it. We are going to move. No worry. Even it's like 5 days at the end of months. You are not going to be homeless. No worry. Just let me do my job to protect you. I know what I'm doing. I know, no worry. But just don't go, okay, remove this condition. No, I accept. If AC, no, I'm not going to check. No, you have to check. If you are renting with AC include, you have to check it.
Okay, I understand.
If you didn't check it, after 2-3 weeks, you try to open, doesn't work. Okay, landlord, no, sorry, I give it to you. Why you didn't check? It's from you. You have to fix it from your own pocket.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, this is a common error. People in rush, they stress. Okay, I accept.
So, Sherif, what kind of clients do you typically work with, and then what kind of market do you work around? Like in Montreal, North Shore, South Shore, and then what do you specialize in, if you specialize?
Actually, first of all, I'm specialized in Montreal and around also, but I focus more on Montreal. And the South Shore, I take part of South Shore and Laval. But I can go. I'm certified in all Quebec, so I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So I go whatever. What type? So I work both residential and commercial, but more residential
Mm-hmm.
because usually we have a rule like we close 5 residential, it's equal 1 commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Like because commercial is not it's not easy to close. It doesn't mean we don't to close. No, it takes longer time, longer than
Residential.
residential. Because residential, if property for 500, if I'm going to negotiate and get the best price for my buyer, if I'm in the buyer side, let's say I will close in 490. Sometimes less or more, sometimes maybe more than 500. But in commercial, no. Commercial is big different. It's if less for 500, I can close it in 200. It's big negotiation.
Okay.
I had before a client, he's going to buy a restaurant.
Yes.
So it was listed for 5, let's remember, it was like 3 years. I don't remember exactly, but it was like 450. Yeah, 450. So after first visit, I start to negotiate before I do any promise to purchase. Because it's for commercial, it's big different in contract.
Yes.
So I start. I went to 225 from 450
to 225.
225, 50% less.
Okay.
But we stopped negotiation. No, I said no, it's not wealthy even. So after 2 months, we start again. So we went to 150. So it's big difference. It's like 35% less. Not less. It's 35% from
discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in commercial, it takes longer time. But in residential, no. It's just find it. We make a promise to purchase. Sometimes we make counter 1, 2, 3, 4, but it takes like 2-3 weeks.
Okay, so if I understand properly, you work in Montreal mainly, but you also take South Shore and North Shore, and you're licensed to work in all over Quebec.
Yeah.
And then to go towards a conclusion, where can people find you if they want to work with you? Where can they reach you?
Okay, so there is many resources for me. First of all, in social media, I'm very, very active in social media.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Facebook page. It's professional. Okay. I have an Instagram page, TikTok, Thread, X, and LinkedIn. I'm very active in LinkedIn also.
Okay.
So I am always publishing Monday for buyers, Wednesday for investors, and Friday for sellers. And from next week or in 2 weeks maximum, I will start also the 2 days. It's Tuesday and Thursday for tenant and landlord.
Okay, I understand.
So in social media, can find me, and also in other website at the agency, at my agency.
All the links will be in the description below, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone wants to reach you, all the links will be down in the description.
And social media and links. Okay. And also I attend many events.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask my next question.
Yeah, many events. I always there is a network event between entrepreneur, real estate people, construction company, lawyers, and social events.
So
also.
What will be your next event that people could meet you at? Do you have a date already or no?
It should be today, but I canceled. It should be today at 7:00.
Okay.
At Montreal, but I canceled to be here.
All right, awesome.
But sure, will be, I think, in April, but I don't know exactly.
Exactly. You don't have a date yet. But
yeah.
Anyways, it'll be all the links will be in the description below. If people want to reach you, it'll be in the description below.
Yeah.
They want to call you, and if you're on the list of properties, so mainly residential. You also do commercial because you have your license for both.
Yeah, both.
And you work in all of Quebec, mainly in Montreal, but you're licensed to work everywhere in Quebec.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in, Sherif.
Thanks a lot for you. Thank you.